overall, guys, I think my sophomore year, in my opinion, as a little bit of another review for this year, went really fast. Even though I was not able to find a group to fit all of my class periods, it was definitely enjoyable, in my opinion. It felt so short, but it felt so long at the same time. To note some moments here, I remember that one moment in conflicting thoughts back in January with this guy in PE, which I didn't want to include, to that other time where Levi almost caused a cold war that happened between a classmate that I knew and a friend, and other moments where homework got so extreme that I almost lose so much sleep. Now, later, that one imaginary trash moment where I threw in imaginary piece of trash as a teacher was using the trash can within an A plus BI lesson a few months ago. And to also note that April 23rd of 2026, when I came late to PE, before I thought I was going to be sent to the office because I kept coming late, but this time there was a substitute, so thankfully I got sent. To PE, right on time, the locker room was thankfully open. And a note for Davin out there, please do not lose my repatriation treaty document, thank you. Sociati, this was also the year self-leading where I finally pushed out and broke the fear of talking to new people. It means that I'm no longer scared of approaching people. And I met this year, as a result, I also remember tons of other moments, such as Thank You interview. I talked to Lila and a bunch of other people, of whom I still don't remember. There was another one, but play interview was interesting, somewhat, as I remember. But most importantly, the library also goes here too. I remember that first time I also broke the fear of approaching people earlier in January. And I was persistent in going to the library, and I did meet a bunch of new people, broke fears, and managed to make some short-time friends, though tentatively. You guys definitely see in some of our videos, sometimes we are emotionally intense, but somewhat guarded. Obviously, next year as a junior, when I do end up making more friends, I do gotta be careful with what I reveal online. As I say, not everybody wants to be talked about, and pretty much still a high score still. Another side question that I got is that some people ask me, could I have had Huz this year? Or at least a boyfriend or a girlfriend? And, well, yes, I could have had one had I chosen to directly pursue one. In the intellect requirement for a relationship, I mean, I do significantly pass that requirement. So someone any boy or girl who is an intellect, I mean, I could have chosen to date them. I could have just went up and did that. But I'm so much as to say that I even have some secret admirers right now. Had they been in an intersecting class with me in the same class, they would have probably pushed for something. So, but that's all theoretics, not to be boastful. But in this year, the biggest lessons I've also learned are that obviously in high school, some people are baddies. Not the good type of baddies. And that's why some people alike have defense mechanisms. So that means from one time I tried to set an interaction with one girl before, but when I coincidentally was with another girl who also was in the same sport, I ended up getting blocked even though I did pose no threat at all. And you guys also know that I've also been a critic about some parts of society. Although mostly everybody is viewed with neutrality, there are a lot of things I'd like to change within the school in general. And as for me internally, this year was also sort of my gaming phase at that same time. Just as much as I was socializing, I was also building all the GTA 5 LSPDFR stuff, all the editing competence, along with a fully completed FNAF security breach gameplay that proves basic editing competence. So even though my gaming phase is gone now, still an example of what we did. Of course, the success isn't just from me, but for others too. Biggest one goes to Rui, that one from history class, for indirectly helping me break my fear of entering the cafeteria and in general in like self-realization is that there's no reason to be scared of people. Just because there's a lot of people doesn't mean you should be scared of them. Like thanks to all of the people who I've talked to within Good Notes, as I'd say from the library to the beach to the game and to the ambient audience out there watching. Massive thanks goes to that. As for my class periods, though, I do have a few things that I have to thank at this one. First period, big credit to the Spanish teacher for being very humorous, though a little bit annoying at times, and thanks for being a real person and teaching the class Spanish. Big credits also goes to Lagrimas and some other old friends when table groups used to be a thing earlier in the year. And I'll also miss the simplicity of the class because all year it was all purely about Preterite and Imperfect. That's literally it, nothing else. Technically, thanks to Abby, thanks to some other people for also helping throughout the year. As for second period, massive thanks to the annoying friends Kalista and her friend, along with the other group of freshmen who have also played antagonistic and protagonistic roles within the class. And also, big credit to Rayon, Giuseppe, Levi, and Eli for being the real ones throughout the journey. I know Eli joined a little late, but Giuseppe's a bit tough, as I say, but I understand where he's coming from when he does play tough. If you guys do ever meet the big four, do be careful around them a little bit, but just note that they are real mofos with real aura. As for third period, a great thanks to the two girls that sit right by me, along with Jen and Miranda for being the direct spotlights of humor, Caleb too for all of this year, along with a few others, including Alan and the other guy who I shook hands with. Also credit to the ESL girl that's also right by me, of who I help sometimes, and credit to the teacher for also being humorous sometimes and helping the class be a little bit better, and being gentle with work and allowing us free time. If you guys ever do meet these people, note that they have aura. Very great people, guys, even though I didn't know them personally. After fourth period, a conceptual thanks goes toward the boys who I've talked to earlier in the year, and a conceptual thanks goes toward the teacher for not assigning as much homework as other periods and allowing us breath time to do extra work. Be chill and just be laid back. Big credit again goes to Devin, another guy who helped me in my presentations, along with credit to the boys for being funny from time to time and doing all this. Although the teacher I'll thank the most for being the most lenient when it came to being late and all that. As for lunch period, the big credit goes toward the friend groups of who I've met before, from that six girl friend group to other small sub fractions of friend groups there. Also to Jonah's group of who I visited twice, but I was not able to integrate fully. The main credit does go to Noelia and Layla, who are two seniors who are graduating this year. Thanks to them for not just offering a seats, but also being the real ones too. Wish them a great life, guys, and wish them a great graduation. And yes, guys, they do have aura. They are the real ones too. As for fifth period, I think I'm gonna miss fifth period the most here because at this point it was practically comedy central of the day. All right, it's literally I say that the teacher at this point in the class for the entire was hosting a free SNL comedy show because the boys were absolutely crazy. Like I will not remember when the boys in the class made the teacher freak out, and vice versa. The teacher herself was pretty sassy too, so she made the experience feel better and. She a real one too, especially for the students that I say. I know the boys were absolutely crazy, especially that one time where she called out Salih for using ChatGPT. I will never not remember those moments. This class was practically a relaxation from the day before, and we went forward even though some of the work was hard. It's good to see that I also leave a legacy behind of coin betting. I wonder to see who'll be late. That cup jar of change is like $2 at this point, so my teacher might bet next year. I hope she does let her class know of this little jar betting thing. I thought she was a bit suspicious at first. Like I realized, no, this teacher is just sassy. This is just how she acts. This is how she does things. Final credit also goes to Sadie and other people in the class. I will always remember in this class, rushing in class just to bet who's going to be late. It also feels sad in emotion for letting this class go because the boys were humorous. They were really absolutely funny. I did not make any like deep connections with people, but like this was laid back. This was free. Like this is like free stay right here. I love this class. I'm gonna be missing this one forever. And if you guys do want to know who the teacher is, just go to Jesus Club, I believe every Wednesday next year, and see who's sitting in the back. I'm really gonna miss this class. If you guys do meet that teacher or any of the friends who I'm talking about, yes, they do have aura. They really have massive aura right there. And as for sixth period, this one was also a dual period right here. For the first half of the year, the math class was a male teacher, but earlier, right after the winter break, I had to switch because the teacher was not allowed by administration to continue doing sixth period. I made my first attempts during the first half of the year to break social fear to talking to people who I didn't know. But next, in a different class after the winter break, is that this time is that where I met Davin and Samuel. I learned the base of quadratics, how to calculate them, and we also learned about trigonometry, and I even made metaphors out of them. I think I even made a tutorial video on how to do them because Davin couldn't understand any of it. I still don't think Davin understands how to do quadratics, but he's a good person. He's a baguette guy. Davin and Samuel are a classic duo. Ted, too, is a classic guy. Funny people, along with that fit guy and the funny guy, too. Never gonna remember those plaid shirt guy. Never going to not remember those people. Those were the funny ones. They also made the day a little bit better, too. Like my story, everybody has their own, too. Everybody has their own favorite teachers. Everybody has their own imaginary fit guy that has the class laughing every time the class feels depressing. And everybody has their own story. People that make the day better. It sucks, guys, but like social plate tectonics, it applies not just to sociality but to classes too. It dictates that even though some of these friends might appear next year, you can expect that Davin might be in a class where I might be in, or maybe even some of the friends I've talked to before might be in a class next year. But eventually, the original configuration will separate at the end. But at the end of the day, I do take home that metadata, what happened, and it's gonna be a cool memory to eventually pass on to the future. As a result, guys, next week is finals week, so what's going to happen tomorrow is that I'm going to call tomorrow Legacy Monday. It's going to be the very, very last day that I'm going to be doing these types of reflection videos for this year. And for finals, it'll be the same, but it's not going to be like the 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. type of thing. This will continue on to junior year, but I might be a little bit more relaxed. But also, I'm going to come in very early tomorrow and maybe set up a few final talks with some friends and have some reminiscence about the year, and maybe get a walk around society. Go talk to some random people, and maybe for the rest of this week. That means anytime early, I might come early this week. If anybody wants to come and interact with me, that week is it, so just find me. I might be walking around. I might be in the library somewhere. I don't know. Since tomorrow is a legacy day, guys, I'm going to be holding a much more relaxed tone and let myself go a little bit because not many people, we're not under the threats of constant assignments or troubles anymore. It's just finals. Finals are difficult, but you don't have many assignments. So I won't be poking at anything or doing much, so please don't attack me, guys. And if something does happen, then obviously every reaction has an equal and opposite reaction. That means if a project comes my way, then I'm going to have to expend as much energy just to do it. But all in all, for the audience, to the ones that have been watching either just now or probably throughout all this year, from all of the videos I have, from the FNAF ones, to the GTA ones, to the geek ones, to the intense ones, to the simple ones, all the way from January to May, or maybe from all the way from November to May, which one is your favorite?